We get introduced to a lot of wineries at Cellar Angels. Every now and then you have to go see what all the hype is about. Wait until you see Italics. Well, Ken, thank you so much for having us out. It's actually great to be back and see all the new things that are happening and what you're investing in for the future. And for folks that are unfamiliar, orient them as to where we are.
We're in Coombsville, about 3 miles from downtown Napa.
And you've been coming to this area because you had a business, agricultural business in South Texas, very, very far South Texas, and with a small window of opportunity to take some vacations, and you used to come up to wine country.
Yeah, we came up usually in the late summertime between crops.
Okay.
And we loved wine, loved the wine country, got to love Napa wines. So probably every year we came, maybe once or twice. And then when we sold our company, we decided to get in the wine business in Napa.
So you brought the family up from South Texas.
Yes.
Did they come willingly or were they kicking and screaming?
No, they came willingly, especially after the first trip.
Very good. And so who from the family is involved in the business now?
Well, my son and I, and my grandson Taylor.
Okay.
That's the three of us that's in the business.
So multi-generational family operation, very familiar with agricultural. Is there anything that was dramatically different between what you did with citrus, onions versus grapes?
Well, it's still growing, and you deal with weather and deal with harvest times and that type of thing. So it's very similar, except, of course, grapes are a little different. You got to finish the product into wine.
So you have a grandson that's now the GM and taking over the operation.
That's right.
I guess we should put him on camera and see what's going on.
I think so. Bring Taylor in.
You got it. So I find it fascinating to add to the romance of wine, where your family was coming up here on vacations and then decided to sell a very, very successful business in South Texas and move here and bring you along. Any objection to that?
A dream that we always used to have at family dinners, we always talk about is working wine, and we always made the joke like, oh, well, we should maybe one day we can grow our own wine, and then all we'll talk about is work, and you don't ever, one thing leads to another, and before you know it, here we are in Coombsville, looking at such a beautiful place,
It doesn't stink.
Napa, in our opinion, is the best macroclimate on the planet for growing Bordeaux grape varietals. That was always my family's passion in wine. We're coming out to Napa. We loved the style of wine that came from here. We loved the climatic diversity, the soil types, the incredible nuance that can be represented in a relatively small geographical area.
It's nice that you didn't have to start from scratch. The foundation of this property, with regards to where they are in Coombsville, with the elevation that you talked about, the wind, the soil type, really has set you on a path for the future. The Bordeaux stuff is a little bit different than the Appalachian side of things, so share with me kind of the focus there.
Yeah, so I think when you take a look at this property from a topographic and geographic and really geological perspective, you've got 3 unique soil types. Coombsville, we're about 6.5 to 7 miles from the San Pablo Bay. You can almost feel it start rolling, and now we've got 10, 20, sometimes 30 mile an hour winds that are driving across the property. And as people grow more wines in Coombsville, we're finding that has a really interesting and defining impact on what the wines end up developing into in the glass. And so when you talk about over 200 feet of elevation change,
right,
we'll have over 10 degrees of temperature variance in the same property in an area, you could hit a golf ball into, and you don't have to be really that good at golf. It's just right down there, right? And so you start talking about all this nuance and unique sense of diversity that we have an opportunity to express through our winemaking and wine growing, process, which is really exciting for us to kind of take on.
I'm really excited about the future, and I know you brought in a high-end winemaker to kind of help facilitate that. So should we talk with him?
Yeah, I think it's great. Marbue's been making wines here for over a decade. You always want someone to come in and give you a unique insight and help really isolate those unique pockets on site. And so with our farming acumen, and his dedication to pulling out that nuance, I think we're really set up in a good place.
So Marbue, you've been making wine specifically in this area for 10 years, in arguably the greatest Cabernet and wine growing region in the world. Why here? What excites you about here?
So, 2 parts. I guess the first part is Napa Valley Get it phenologically ripe, what we say, to get a balance of getting the extraction and the flavors, and having the growing season that's necessary. Number two, Coombsville, specifically because the moderating influence.
Okay.
So I think in the last, I've been making wine here 12 years. The heat spikes we've experienced have been more prolonged, and I believe, based on my experience in this valley, that it's been better appreciated. We've gone through it better here in Coombsville, mostly because of that moderating influence with the San Pablo Bay, the soils we have, and so from climatic, historical reasons, I really do prefer this location.
And it's interesting because for the better part of 80 to 100 years, people thought this was too cool or cold of an era to make great wines.
Exactly.
And how excited are you about the future of this property and the wines they're producing?
I think, we are people that we are the limiting factor. I think it's pretty exciting because I think we have a focus. Mm-hmm. So really, it's just about letting it all shine through. We're not trying to sort it out. The groundwork has been laid.
Perfect. Well, we're excited to start sending some more people here. So thanks for having us.
We're excited, and we think we're really excited about what the palate it is that we're going to be able to share with people.
Should we taste some wine?
I definitely think we should.
Okay, perfect. What an absolutely great time with Ken and Taylor and Marbue today. The things that they're doing at Italics are going to mesmerize you. They have unbelievable caves, a wonderful hospitality experience. Do yourselves a favor. Get to Italics. Thanks so much for all your support.